Premier service. Premier service.
Welcome back. We've just left Vienna. Kronos has left the train, and Anna Wolf seems to have just been passed a note by a fellow spy. Speaking of Miss Wolf...
Jacques, I've got the most awful headache. Would you tell Herr Schmidt I won't be having dinner with him tonight?
Of course, madame. Can I bring you anything?
Premier
No,
service.
I'm just tired.
Le dîner est servi
Yeah,
dans le
madame.
wagon-restaurant.
I hope you can get some rest
Dinner
tonight.
is served
Danke,
in
Jacques.
the restaurant car.
Well, Anna's going to skip her dinner with Schmidt. Maybe now she already has enough info on him, and she doesn't want to put herself through a date night, an evening of his lascivious gaze. As I said last time, I think we're going to start focusing on the people on the train who had the means to kill Tyler. The people on the train who strike me as violent or potentially violent are obviously the Serbs, but also Alexei. I can't think of any reason for him to kill Tyler, but there does seem to be something off with him. Now, one thing to note is that we are now on disc 3 of the game, which is the last disc, and we actually have much less freedom in this section than we have had in the past. Events are going to play out really one of a few ways, and there really aren't very many conversations that we can happen to listen to or miss. You're pretty much going to see most of what goes on. Shortly after the first dinner service begins, Tatiana can be seen walking back towards the end of the train.
Bonsoir, madame.
Ну вот вы все развалили. А подумали вы о том, что будет возведено взамен?
Ничто не понадобится возводить взамен тирании. Как только частная собственность будет упразднена, все люди станут равными, свободными. Новое, мирное общество образуется само по себе.
И каким же образом вы планируете упразднить частную собственность?
Путем революции, разбив вдребезги эту мерзкую систему. Это единственный выход.
We only hear bits and pieces of this argument between the two Russians.
В супружество я не верю. Зачем русскому рабочему воевать со своим немецким братом? Ведь мы же все одинаковы. Простые люди всегда проливают свою кровь в войнах, начатых правительствами. Мы же как овцы, ведомые на бойню.
Я не могу. Не могу уйти от дедушки.
Из-за таких людей, как ваш дед, Россия откатилась на сотни лет назад.
Дедушка не такой уж плохой человек.
There is good and bad in every man, Tatiana. But Vasily Obolensky is one of the most evil products of the most evil system ever invented by men on earth.
Вы бы себя послушали.
Если бы вы слышали то, что я слышал. Если бы вы видели то, что я видел своими глазами, Татьяна, то сами, взяв нож вашего деда, зарезали бы его спящего.
Я не желаю этого выслушивать. If you hate my grandfather so much, then you must also hate me.
Татьяна!
Послушайте себя. Убийства, бомбы. Вы говорите, что ненавидите войну, но ведь вы же еще хуже других.
Нет!
Bonsoir, monsieur.
As long as we know Alex is out of his room, let's go ahead and check him out. Fortunately, his window is locked, but we can play the same game by pushing our call button to draw the attendant away. And Alex's door is actually unlocked.
Bonsoir, monsieur Whitman.
Arrive en
Excusez-moi,
gare de
monsieur, c'est
poste
le
solide.
conducteur.
3 minutes d'arrêt.
And this clock that Alexei was working on earlier sure seems like it could be used as a bomb. So let's just abscond with it.
I say, I think you've got the wrong compartment.
Looks like we both got the wrong compartment.
Abbott was also about to sneak into Alex's room. So clearly he thinks something is up.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, monsieur.
And since Anna isn't having dinner with Schmidt, let's step in and have a chat with her.
I was afraid you'd gotten off in Vienna.
In Vienna? Why should I?
I don't know, but I'm glad to see you.
The journey will be over soon enough.
So, what happens to August Schmidt now?
He will find the police waiting for him in Budapest. The guns will be discovered and confiscated.
I see. A job well done. You must be very proud of yourself.
You want to talk. Is smuggling guns your idea of an honorable profession?
Is that my profession?
It's like a game to you, taking sides. Today you help the Bosnians, tomorrow the English. Do you want to know why Tyler died? I'll tell you. For 1,000 years, people have been killing each other over the Balkans. It's not about to stop for one American. Our history is a chain of blood. It reaches deep into the past, it binds us, and it has nothing to do with you. Tyler is dead, you can't bring him back. Why don't you go home before the same thing happens to you?
Tyler was my friend. Maybe that word doesn't mean much to you. To me, when a friend asks for help, and you get there too late, you don't leave it at that.
Go away, please.
That was certainly a prickly conversation between Kath and Anna. Anna seems to think Tyler was killed because of the arms deal itself, that he's a casualty of the political struggle in the Balkans. And maybe she's right, we don't know. I'm not sure why Kath expresses displeasure that the guns are going to be confiscated. After all, he doesn't care whether Milos and his group gets the guns or not. He's only after Tyler's killer. Still, it could be that he has an affinity for the poor Serbs. We see the pitiful Schmidt leaving his dining car. It's actually possible to see him drinking the celebratory champagne that he ordered for his date with Anna by himself.
Pardon.
Pardon me? Pardon me?
Excusez-moi, monsieur, c'est le conducteur.
It seems like the attendants are unperturbed by the giant blood stain on the floor in our room, which is good.
Excusez-moi.
I'm going to hang out in our room for a minute because we're about to have a visitor.
Monsieur, may I speak to you?
Of course, come in.
You were so kind to my grandfather. I I don't know how to begin.
Is he worse?
No, it's Alexei. He has asked me to get off the train at Budapest and run away with him.
What did you say?
What do you think I said? My grandfather's ill. How can I leave him? It would be wrong, wouldn't it?
Alexei is a romantic. You know what they say. A romantic is someone who spends his life looking for a good way to die.
When I told him no, he started saying wild things. He said I'm his only connection to the world, and that if I won't go with him, his life means nothing. You don't know him. I really think he might do something crazy. He wanted to kill my grandfather with a bomb. He would have blown up the train and killed dozens of innocent people.
A bomb? What kind of bomb?
He made it himself. He's been planning it for weeks. Of course I talked him out of it. But now I'm afraid I don't know what he will do. I love him so.
I'll see what I can do.
Would you? Oh, thank you, monsieur. Thank you.
Well, we've already nipped that in the bud, I think. Assuming that the clock was the detonator, we have that in our pocket. So, if for whatever reason Alexei does intend to blow the train up, it shouldn't be possible for him anymore.
Et pour madame?
Le poisson?
Très bien, madame. Yes, monsieur.
Some brandy, please. Your best. With 2 glasses.
Très bien, monsieur.
Schmidt orders brandy with 2 glasses. Who will he be drinking with, I wonder?
Your brandy, monsieur.
Thank you. You may leave the bottle.
Très bien, monsieur.
Herr Whitney, have a drink. It helps make the journey shorter.
Thanks.
I have misjudged Fräulein Wolf. There is no other explanation. Again and again I ask myself, could I have imagined it? A fantasy? A romantic dream? But then I remember the way she looked at me. The warmth of her eyes. And I know I was not mistaken. Something has changed her.
Well, August, she is an artist.
An artist. Yes. When I return to Munich, she shall play for me. She will perform at my house. Let me fill your glass, Herr Whitney. You at least have not disappointed me. Yes, yes. She will play for me. It will be a wonderful evening. You will be there too, Herr Whitney. And Kronos and the Oblenskis, we shall all be together in a big gold room. And she will play. And we will dance. Dance, dance, dance. Oh, Mutter, der Max, der Max, der Max hat Beine wie Max, wie Max, wie Max. La da 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 da, dum dum da da, la la la, dum 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 dum. Life is short, everything. Let's dance together.
And in all my times through this game, that scene never fails to make me smile. While we seem to have a free moment, I think we might as well look at this Firebird scroll, the translation that Tatiana gave us. It says, "Every night in a far-off land, the Firebird stole golden apples from the royal garden. The old king said to Prince Ivan, 'Go speak with the Grey Wolf and bring the Firebird to me, for I must hear it sing.' Grey Wolf, where shall I go? Climb on my back and I will take you. In the desert heart of a southern land hangs a cage of silver bells on the red rock painted with the old shapes of Dreamtime. The bells rang out when Ivan seized it, but the Firebird had flown. Grey Wolf, where shall I go? Climb on my back and I will take you. A world away lies a colder kingdom, ringed with blue. In a circle of ancient stones, the Firebird guards a horse with a golden mane. The Firebird vanished in a bright flash as Ivan grasped the reins. Grey Wolf, where shall I go? Climb on my back and I will take you. On the rooftop of the world, Elena sleeps, under the Firebird's wing. One look at her and Ivan forgot his quest. He kissed her and she rose. The Firebird watched them go. Grey Wolf, where shall I go? Climb on my back and I will take you. They turned toward home and, tired, on the wayside slept. His jealous brothers, seeing them, cut Ivan into 100 pieces. Grey Wolf, cried Elena, we must find the waters of life and death. Grey Wolf, where shall I go? Climb on my back and I will take you. In the warm seas, under a cross of stars, on a grassy island stands the heads of silent gods, looking ever outwards. There Elena found the waters of life and death, and made Ivan whole. Grey Wolf, where shall I go? Climb on my back, and I will take you. To the city of the temple, built by the son of David. When the blue doors opened, Ivan and Elena entered in, and there the Firebird waited, to open his throat and sing to them. And so they dwelt, in harmony all their lives, and each night the Firebird sang his story to them. Until Death the Destroyer came and overtook them as they ran, and turned their bones to fire and then to dust. Of course, as you might have guessed, these verses are clues to how to open the egg. The egg has a map of the world on it, and several gems. If we could figure out the order of gems to push, we could open the egg. But I'm not really sure why we would want to do that. In any case, we can't get to the front of the train where the egg is right now anyway, so let's just retire for the evening.
Don't answer it.
I have to.
Василий Александрович, это наша с вами прощальная встреча.
Нет! Дедушка! Осторожно, он хочет тебя убить!
Нет, это ошибка, вы не поняли.
Я не боюсь смерти. Я всегда следовал заветам нашей... Произойдет покушение на мою жизнь. Убийцы следовали за мной из самой России. Я не боюсь смерти. Я всегда следовал заветам нашей церкви. Регулярно принимал участие, постился. Я служил Господу нашему Иисусу Христу и исполнителю воли на земле батюшницы. Когда я умру, святые защитят меня и приведут к ногам Господа нашего, который простит мне прегрешения и укажет дорогу.
My company has a pretty good understanding of the Austro-Hungarian authorities. I think if you let me speak to them first, I can explain what happened here and get this mess cleared up without a lot of fuss. No need to splash it all over the papers. Reputation of the line to think of and all that. There's a good fellow. Care to join me in a drink? Just the two of us, man to man? I'll be in the smoking car.
before we go and see Abbott, do you hear something ticking? Well, and that's probably nothing, right?
There you are. What a nasty business. Oh well, good job it's over. Saves me a bit of trouble. Cheers.
Saves you trouble? How?
Oh well, the word went out that one of those anarchist chaps was travelling on the express precisely in order to blow up that poor old fellow Obolensky. So the company sent me along to see if I could spot him and nip things in the bud, you see, before any unpleasantness. Fact is, for a while I wasn't sure if it was him or you.
Me?
Well, travelling without a ticket, assumed name and all that, you can see why I might have wondered. No hard feelings, I hope.
By the way, I found this in Dolnikov's luggage.
Oh, well done. A detonator. Very nice. Amazing the way these chaps can manage to make something quite deadly out of nothing at all. Speaking of which, you didn't happen to find the dynamite, did you?
Dynamite? What dynamite?
Okay, it looks like we should have paid closer attention to that sound after all.
Care to join me in a drink? Just the two of us, man to man? I'll be in the smoking car.
If we look in this lower panel, we will see what we can only assume is some kind of improvised bomb. There are lots of ways to blow ourselves up here, and only one way to disarm the bomb. So first we lift the explosive up to get at these wires, and then we melt the insulation on the wires, and then short out the switch that detected if we removed the device from the cabinet. Don't open the front of the device, because there's another internal switch that detects that we've opened it. Instead, turn it around and remove these pins from the hinge. Now we see two relays that close the circuit to the detonator, and we need to prevent those from making contact. And since they aren't sealed relays, we can just use this telegram to block them.
I say, well done. Now how about that drink?
Excuse me, Monsieur Whitney.
Looks like we gathered quite a crowd watching us disarm that bomb. So now we can go talk to Abbott.
Cognac, please.
Very good, madame.
Thank you.
Anna needs a drink.
There you are. What a nasty business. Oh well, good job it's over. Saves me a bit of trouble. Cheers.
Saves you trouble? How?
Oh well, the word went out that one of those anarchist chaps was travelling on the express precisely in order to blow up that poor old fellow Obolensky. So the company sent me along to see if I could spot him and nip things in the bud, you see, before any unpleasantness. Fact is, for a while I wasn't sure if it was him or you.
Me?
Well, travelling without a ticket, assumed name and all that, you can see why I might have wondered. No hard feelings, I hope.
No hard feelings.
Good job you finding that bomb. I wonder, have you ever considered doing a bit more work in this line?
What line?
Surely a man of your perception must realize that Europe is on the brink of war. Britain and America have certain common interests. An American who knows his way about, cool head in a tight spot. Frankly, we could use a fellow like you.
Your English police seem to have a different opinion.
Oh yes, that awkward business with that Irish policeman. As a matter of fact, I've looked into that. You know, you really shouldn't have helped that fellow, even if he was wounded. Our police tend to take it rather to heart when a policeman is killed. But in this case, I think there may have been a bit of a misunderstanding. Guilt by association, if you see what I mean. Fact is, you're a doctor, Hippocratic oath and all that. I think we can clear this business up fairly easily, assuming we want to.
You mean assuming you want to?
This isn't the first time you've come to our attention, Mr. Cath. We never have known quite what to make of you. Some of us were of the opinion that you were rather a loose cannon, like your friend Mr. Whitney. Unfortunate what happened to him. Me, I've always felt that when push came to shove, you turned out to be one of our sort. What do you think?
I'm sorry, Abbott. I've never been much of a joiner.
Just remember, the offer is open. The world is changing and one does need to choose sides. And sometimes things change so fast that it's hard to tell one side from the other. But as I hate to say it, sometimes these situations do come down to a for us or against us sort of problem, if you see what I mean.
I'll remember that. Excuse me.
Notice that this clock is missing. That was used for the bomb.
Come in. Something's wrong. We're not stopping.
اذهب أيها الملعون!
Apparently the Serbs have caught wind that the guns were going to be seized and took matters into their own hands. We're tied up in the baggage compartment, but improbably we can burn through our bindings with these matches. And now we're subjected to a number of action scenes. This one against Salko. Just dodge and punch until he's knocked out.
Take off your sash! You could have taken off the sash first. We're almost to the border. We've got to stop the train.
Why?
Why? Once we're in Serbia, they'll kill us.
And if we stop before the border?
The terrorists will be captured by the Austrian police.
Along with the arms.
Yes.
You're being used. You and August Schmidt.
What do you mean?
Germany and Austria want war. All they need is an incident to set it off, like Sarajevo. Sarajevo wasn't enough, but crates of machine guns captured in the hands of Serbian terrorists. Now that could start a war. Anna, how do you think your superiors knew about the arms sale? Schmidt's been set up. Germany wanted this deal to happen, and they wanted it blown wide open. By you. Anna, wait!
Well, now we just walk up to the front of the train and, okay, so maybe we should try it some other way. The only way open to us is to cross to the front of the train from the roof. here we're confronted by Ivo, and he has a weapon. But it's not really a big deal. Just like before, we dodge and then we punch.
Možda ti srpski seljačići nisu bili velika prepreka.
This fight with Vesna is slightly more complicated. We have to parry her sword in the direction that it goes. So if she's stabbing toward our left, we have to go left, and if she's swinging overhead, we have to block overhead. And right here at the end, we have to duck, and it's harder than it seems. You don't have much time at all to react from the time that you get the down cursor. We throw Vesna from the train, and that leaves only Milos in our way, and he is up with the train driver.
On je ubio inženjera, ej! On je ubio inženjera!
Umukli nastavi da ložiš! You won't make it. You're not a Slav. This I understand. But how can you help the Austrians?
I'm not helping anybody. I got a ticket in my pocket to Constantinople, and I'm not gonna waste it.
Is this a joke to you? Who killed Tyler? Tyler gave his life for our freedom. And you? What do you believe in? You believe in nothing?
Good. We're slowing down. You can stop shoveling now.
Keep shoveling!
What are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Stop the train!
As I was telling my friend before you shot him, I've got a ticket for Constantinople in my pocket, and I intend to use it.
Constantinople? You won't make it out of Belgrade.
I wasn't planning to stop at Belgrade.
There are 30 people on this train. Are you willing to risk their lives too? Haven't enough people been killed?
The bandits who had locked us in the dining car turned out to be Serbian nationalists. It was Miss Wolfe and the American Mr. Whitney who stopped the train before the border. The Austrians gave Mr. Whitney a medal for heroic service to the monarchy. Rather ironic in light of subsequent events. Still, if he hadn't stopped the train, we might have all been killed.
As you just heard Sophie say, the game has ended. We got an outcome. And honestly, it's not that bad of an outcome. So, Kath didn't make it to Jerusalem. And the arms discovered in Austria means that the war is on, but World War I was going to happen anyway. However, the game automatically rewinds the clock and lets us try again, because this ending, even though it is fine, is not the true ending. So next time on The Last Express, we get to the true ending, by finding a way to keep the train moving all the way to Constantinople.